let's start here. So attaching cloud computing solution with Java. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love Italy, by the way. My name is Otavio Santana. My Twitter is Otavio at Otavio Java. So I'm Java champion. I'm executive member from the JCP, so the guy who handles Java right now. I'm a Apache committer from several open source projects. I'm also Eclipse committer and also Eclipse project leader. So I have several open source projects that I handle too. And I'm also Platform.sh, dev hell engineer. And guess what? On my free time, I write books and blogs. So that's amazing because right now I'm not able to leave my home. And even before, I usually don't have a social life. So that does not change too much on my side. So let's go first. So we're gonna talk about cloud architecture, but what is cloud? So that's an easy answer, right? Basically, cloud is somebody else's computer. So the whole idea is okay. I don't want to care about about my hardware. I don't want to care about my server. So let's pay to somebody else to handle that to me. So the whole idea is okay. I'd like to use a machine that I don't like to handle that anymore. And with cloud, that brings some new perspectives to us, like service. So right now we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So the first step for sure is okay, we have my on-premise service. So basically the whole idea is when I decided to make pizza at home, then we have infrastructure as a service. The whole idea here is to take and make at home, platform as a service, the pizza delivery. And the last one, don't do it right now. Is stay at home. Is software as service that you decided to dinner out. So I don't care about anything. I just go to the restaurant table, order one pizza, and don't care about any process between that. Okay, so on premise, infrastructure, platform as service, and software as service. That's the whole idea of the cloud. Okay, let's move on to the next step. So I guess a lot of people heard about cloud native. So indeed, what is cloud native? So I went to several articles, several blog posts, and this name is so new that a lot of people like to say what is and what is not. However, right now it's so hard to say each one is right, each one is wrong. So I decided to bring a lot of one, and then you can decide it each one fits to you. So I have my first one here from Pivotal. That's approach to building a run application and takes some advantage from cloud native. The next one is from a book. So it's a different way to think of software system. And move on to InfoWord. So cloud native is the approach to building a run application and blah 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 blah. Uh, we have one more book that says basically is cloud native is more about deploy, update, replace, and scale. This one here is my favorite book for sure. So cloud native is more about architecture, philosophy to run application in the cloud and take some advantage. Right now, there is an organization that is Cloud Native Computing Foundation. It has your home concept. To me, it put too much buzzword in just one place. So it put containers, service mesh, microservice, declarative APIs. Basically, they decided to put a lot of buzzword in just one place, and then decided to define that as a cloud native. I don't like this approach, but you can use for sure. Cloud native is more about container. I guess cloud native is something else bigger than that. And based on that, I decided to create my own definition. So cloud native to me is more about a set of good practice to optimize my application to the cloud, right? And to make that possible, I have three tools. So I have containers, I have orchestration, that the whole idea is to orchestrate the containers. And for sure, I need to automate everything around the cloud. I won't go deep about container and what is container is, but I have amazing link about an article from Larry, who has amazing article about what is container and containers alive. And the whole point here is container is a unit for my application. And if you are a Java developer, that's look like a Java, right? Because container is more about Spora. So I have a package. So a package owns run anytime, anywhere. And in Java, we already did the water that's right owns run anywhere. Okay. Let's move on to the next step, the best practice to make that happen. The first topic, the 1.1 important thing to say is cloud native, they don't have new things to make that good practice. So basically, we decided to use the old one. For example, take this one. This one is the 12 factors to make your application health. And that's not too new like cloud native. So the old is still valid. So the cloud native is more about use your old good practice to move on to the cloud. So code base, please don't use email to handle your code base. Use any kind of repository like Git, SVN, Mercurial. Right now we have several services like GitHub to make that possible. One file to dependencies, so don't storage your dependencies. You can use, if you are a Java developer, you can use Maven, Gradle. If you are a JavaScript developer, you can use npm, something like that. Configuration for sure. Don't put password and user directly in your code. And for sure, have more good practice to follow. So the 12 factor for sure is good to if you'd like to decide to move your application to cloud. And even before, so if you are not able to make that possible right now, you just can use those 12 factor to make your application better and almost ready to move to the cloud. Okay, those one are old but gold. So we have the clean code that mentions something about making your code more readable, clean architecture, DDD, so you can make your code closer to your business. And if you are a Java developer, this one you must to read is Effective Java, is a set of good practice to use Java codes. The best way to use collection, the best way to use string, lambdas, something like that. So if you're a Java developer, you must start with this one here, Effective Java, and then go through the best practice to run your code, to make that readable. And so take a look on these books. Don't worry, I'm gonna have the link at the end of the presentation. I did not mention about microservice, but there is an amazing book from Edson Yanaga, a friend of mine. So don't worry too much about microservice right now because sometimes don't need to use microservice. In the software development, there is not silver bullets. And yeah, sometimes don't need to use microservice just because a lot of people decided to use. Okay? And move on to the next topic. So Java Cloud Native. So How about Java and cloud native right now? What's happening with Java? One important thing to say is Java is moving really fast right now. So we have release every 6 months. Right now, from the Java 11, we have a better integration with container. We have several optimization on the garbage collector. Even if you are not able to use some new APIs from the Java 11, if you take your Java 8 code and decided to run in the Java 11, that is more than enough to optimize your application to any kind of performance. And this one gonna run greater in container if you decide to run your same Java 8 code in the Java 11. Okay, move on for sure. Beyond the JVM, we have several tools such as Jakarta EE. So right now we are the latest generation of Jakarta EE. Jakarta EE is previously um, Java EE. Right now we are the new home, so from Eclipse Foundation. The new goal is more about cloud native, right? And the whole idea is to make more agile. That means try to release every year one version. Last year we had a new version. In July, hopefully you're gonna have a new Jakarta EE version. And the next year, probably in July as well, we're gonna have a new Jakarta EE version. So every single year, the whole idea is to have a new Jakarta EE version instead of wait 3, 4, 5 years that I had before with Java EE. Okay, move on to microprofile. What is microprofile? The whole idea of microprofile is we have a small piece of Jakarta EE to run on, on microservice. Instead of I have a huge Jakarta EE specification with a large number of specification, I can take a small piece to run microservice. This one also belongs to Eclipse Foundation, and the whole idea is to release faster and quickly. I guess this one has released every 3 months, so at least 4 times a year you're gonna see some release from microprofile. In the Java world right now, with Jakarta EE and Eclipse MicroProfile, we have several tools to make that easier to use cloud in Java. So have security, fault tolerance, open tracing, open API, REST client configuration, fault tolerance, metrics, JWT, health, and a lot of stuffs. Okay. So I talk too much. So that's time to move on to my code. The whole idea right now is to create one Java application from almost scratch. This guy here gonna be a Maven application, as you can see. I'm gonna use Jakarta and microprofile. So I'm gonna take some small piece. The whole idea is to create a hero manager and a hero microservice, and I'm gonna storage that on the MongoDB. Why MongoDB? Just because I'd like to show Jakarta NoSQL. That is the newest specification from Jakarta EE world. Okay, as you can see, it's a Maven product. Again, I have the dependence from Jakarta, so there's nothing new here. So just my Maven dependence. Before I start, guys, can you see my screen? Can you see the code? So the first one is basically, okay, it's basically a hello world and a web service. And let's start, right? My first step for sure is create my hero entity. So let's move on. So my hero, this guy here gonna have 3 attributes. So the first one gonna be my name, because for sure our hero has a name, an integer to define an age, and for sure, the last and most important thing is more about the powers, right? So powers. And this one gonna be a set of collection. One good point about MongoDB is that I don't need to handle about relationship right now. So instead of I have, one table to hero, one table to powers, and then make the one to many relationship. I just have one column and I can store the whole information, the whole powers in just one column. Okay, right now I have my entity. Now I need to define annotation. And the whole idea of annotation is to define, okay, I'd like to define how I'm going to take this class and storage in the MongoDB. The first step is to define this guy as an entity. So I have my entity annotation. The name gonna be the ID. So guess what? We have the ID annotation. And finally I need to define this guy as column. So column here and column here. And there's nothing else new if you are a JPA developer, right? So I put NT that looks like JPA. I put ID that looks like a JPA, and for sure column. Okay. Let's put the toString. So for sure the ID make everything easy. Okay, increase the font. Okay, let's come here, settings. Hey Hafa, how about now? Can you see? Okay, while you tell me, move on. So I have my AC here. I have the annotations. More, for sure, why not? Okay, let's define 20. And how about now, Rafael? Is that okay? Is that not okay? I guess right now it's good, right? Yes, thank you. So I have my entity, I have the annotations. What's the next step? Basically, I have two ways. I can find getter setters to all my feeds. I can also create a DTO to make the transfer between my entity and my resource that I'm gonna create. And also, I have one more that's more about mix between both. So I can create getter set to hero and plus the DTO. To make this easier, I don't want don't want to care about the getters and setters. So basically, I need to say to my JSON binder that take the fields instead of getter setters. So I'm gonna use JSON visibility and say, hey, look to the fields. Use the strategy to look the fields. So the whole idea right now is, okay, it's gonna serialize by the fields, and it won't look to the getter and setters. Okay, fields, fields, fields. Let's override the equals and hash code. I'm gonna use my ID, so my name. Right now I have my equals. And here, my hash code. So because I just have one attribute, I'm gonna use the hash code one. So right now I have my entity that use Jakarta NoSQL, and I have my JSON visibility to serialize this guy to resource that I'm gonna create right now. The next step is to create the guy who gonna communicate with MongoDB and then return information from MongoDB into MongoDB, right? And the Spring Data has a Spring Data repository, and for sure we have a similar thing. So let's create this hero repository. This looks like what Spring Data does. So I have my interface, and then I'm gonna extend this guy to my repository. So my hero, I'm gonna receive two parameters. The first one is hero. The second one is my ID type. Just to remember, my ID type is string, so hero string. And the last guy is my resource. So if I'd like to use controller, the nomenclature, I don't mind. So the whole point here is I have my resource, my hero resource, and I need to define my path. Usually when you are working with microservice, we are using REST application with JSON. So let's define the, and this one's about hero, right? So I need to put that in plural, so heroes. And usually we do with JSON. So I'm gonna consume JSON, and then I'm gonna produce some JSON, right? So I'm gonna receive something JSON, and I'm gonna I'm gonna return something in JSON. I need to define my repository, so my hero repository here, repository. As you can see, I'm using CDI. So I need to inject this guy here. So let's go to my inject annotation. Once I'm using CDI, I need to define this resource as a CDI context. So I need to define a scope to this guy. So you can use a request if you wish. In my case, I'm gonna use application scope, right? And then start to do my interaction. One thing that I forget to mention about repository, I don't have any implementation here. So if I look for implementation, there's no implementation here. My whole point is I create some methods that's query by method, and I don't need to care about the implementation itself. The framework gonna generate to me automatically. For example, I like to do my hero get find all, and that is it. I don't need to implement this guy. So let me turn to here. Oh no, this guy hero resource, and then let's start to create my basic operation. The first one is to return everything from the database. So hero get all, right? Return repository find all, and then let insert. So hero repository, and then save my hero. Let's move on. I did insert, and then let's do the delete by the ID. So string ID. As you can see, I don't need to care delete by ID about the implementation. But for sure, we're gonna run this code. And the last is for sure, I need to return by the ID, right? So hero find by ID, string ID, repository, find by ID, the ID. Let's return this guy here. So this is a hero. As you can see, basically I'm using the optional because this API has support to Java 8 or bigger. So you can use optional. So that means you don't need to handle the new pointer exception anymore. What I can do right now, basically, I'm looking for hero. If I don't find, I'd like to return the 404, right? So return hero, or else throw, new application, and not found. So basically, I'm just using the optional to make that possible. So try to find this hero by the ID. If I don't find this guy, I'm gonna return the 404. Okay, right now I created the basic operation. The next step is I need to define the verbs on this resource. right? The first one is heroes to return everything. So I'm gonna use the get. To insert, I'm gonna use the post. To delete, ouch, I'm gonna use delete. And to get something, I'm gonna use the get, okay? But for sure, I don't want to remove everything on my database. I just like to remove from the ID. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create one, oops, oh, this one here is right. I'm gonna create one path. So path, this one gonna be the ID. So the ID, the path parameter, and then the ID, and basically what I'm doing, I'm link this path parameter. So hero slash ID, I'm gonna connect with this parameter here. So I need to do exactly the same with the find my ID. So right here, copy paste. Why not? So basically what I have right now, so I have my whole resource application. So I have my empty again with Jakarta NoSQL annotation to connect to MongoDB database. I have my repository that is just one interface. I don't need to handle about the implementation itself. I have my resource. This guy is my controller. So I'm gonna consume some JSON. I'm gonna produce some JSON. And that's gonna happen automatically because I'm saying to my JSON bind that look for the fields instead of getters and setters. For sure, if I wish, I can put some validation, something like that, right? But right now I just have 30 minutes left. I need to move on. So if I go here, as you can see, I need to have my connection. Wait, and one important thing here is I have my document collection manager. This guy belongs to Jakarta NoSQL. And this guy represents my MongoDB connection. And for sure, when I don't want that kind of connection, I can close the resource. The question is, wait, where is my, my database information? What is that? Okay, one feature from Eclipse MicroProfile is the configuration. So as you can see here, I'm gonna run the code. My code is outside. My property is outside the code. So my database is zero. I'm running this guy locally, and this guy have my provider that looks like JPA, right? As you can see, I have some configuration to the port and the host because I can use any kind of, because that's just specification, so I can choose any implementation from Eclipse MicroProfile. This time I choose the Elidon from Oracle, but I can use Payara, Tommy, and Kunzi, whatever I want. So let's move on, right? So I'm talking too much. It's time to take the application, run. Hopefully it's gonna compile. And right now, run Java, jar, and hopefully that's gonna run. I'm not sure. Let me check if my database is running. As you can see here, my database is running. So let's check the parts. So it's working. This hello world belongs to this guy here. Okay, and let's test the get hero. So the first step is get hero. For sure that is empty, but let's try to insert something there. And then run the hero again. So right now it has the Iron Man, right? As you can see here, it was to the database if without a care about. And let's go to get by ID. So right now I'm returning Ironman. It has the power to be rich. Okay, let's put a little bit more information. I created the small script. So let's run this script here. So heroes, we're running this guy here. And let's run again, the hero service. I know that's too small, but there's no way to increase the font of this guy. At least I have no idea. But as you can see here, I have the Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, Black Panther. So basically right now, I have my whole application running. And I did a small steps to make that possible. Okay, so I have my whole application running, and it is connected to a NoSQL database. And okay, let's move on this guy to clouds. And how can I make that possible? Just use the cloud native perspective. So let's move on. To make that possible, I'm gonna use for sure Platform.sh. So let's move on here. Okay, where are you? So no for a while. Come on, where are you? Here. So let's open the console. The first step is I'm gonna create a project. So let's come here. I'm gonna create empty one. However, we have several templates like application. Let's choose some region. So I have several templates. So as you can see here, I have several languages. So, but if I'd like to go to Java, I have Apache, Tommy, I have Helidon, I have Jenkins, I have several applications, Java applications that I can run easily with uh, Platform.sh. But I'd like to take my whole application and move on to Platform.sh. So I'm gonna create a new empty project. So next, application, let's put my cloud native application, this region, and I'm gonna create. So it's gonna create for a while. So to make that possible, I don't need to change anything in my code. Basically, I just need to have three different files. The first one is my, for sure I don't create that manually. I have this one here. I have my application YAM file. This guy has several information to take and read this information to create your home container. So the whole idea is read this file to create your application as container in the cloud. As you can see here, we have several information. The name of the application for sure, the type. As you can see here, I have the Java type and the version. You remember, I'm running the Java 8. Let's show to you Java 8. So Java 8, right? My compiler, my target. And I'm gonna run this guy in the Java 11. I have my commons configuration. The whole idea here is to, okay, I'd like to override several configurations in the cloud. So I'd like to override to have my password, the username, the path, a lot of things that I don't care, I don't handle about, that Platform.sh is gonna handle to me. As you can see here, I have my relationship. What does that mean? Basically, I'm gonna connect my application to a service, and this guy here is my MongoDB. So beyond this application file, I also have my service that is a name for sure, and my type for sure. I choose MongoDB, the version 3.6. with this space because that's gonna be a small application, right? So again, my application, configuration, and a service that I need. Platform.sh has several services, not about MongoDB. So if you like to use MySQL, MariaDB, whatever you want, you have support too. So if you like to, I don't know, I don't have anything in my mind right now, but if you like to do something like that, something like Maria, I guess MariaDB, and the final version is the disk, and basically it's gonna create to me um, the service as container and then connect to my application if I use the relationship attribute. Otherwise, it's not able to connect. Remember, cloud native is about container, good practice, and orchestration. So based on these three files, I'm gonna orchestrate the whole information, the whole containers that I need. I have my build, so basically it's a Maven, so MVN clean package. I override the whole information, then run the Java jar, the configuration of memory that I want to, and something like that. And then override the whole information from these properties, right? Okay, let's move on. Let's return again. So I have my cloud native app project. So right now that's my my product that looks like. So the whole idea is taking my code and move to the cloud, and based on that code, I'm gonna create my applications. So that's a repository. I guess you can see my console. Get status. Yes, I don't have Git yet, so Git init. So basically, I started my Git, and for sure, don't do that on production. So git add, and then git commit whip. Again, never, never, never do that. Okay. Okay, Thiago says, you did any configuration of platform on the .xml on the YAML file? Yeah. The whole point here is I'm gonna run my application. That can be an Java application. This one's Maven. You have support to Gradle as well. So the whole point is whatever you have in your .xml, I'm gonna run. So I can put clean install, I can put clean install, and then skip the test. I can do whatever I want here to build my application, and then for sure run my application here. I don't need to handle anything else more. The whole idea is to split your code to the infrastructure. That's why Platform.sh has those three files. So one to handle my application, another one to handle my service, and another one to define my hosts. Okay? Guys, by the way, I love interaction. So if you have any question, please just tell me. So git status. I guess I don't have any remote yet. Let me check. No, I don't. Git remote, clouds. I'm gonna include my Git from Platform.sh. For sure, if you'd like to, connect to GitHub, GitLab, whatever you want, you have support too. And then I'm gonna push my whole application to the cloud. Hopefully that's gonna work. So I push my code, and based on that information, it's gonna run my Java application. As you can see, it's download the whole world, so the whole internet right now, because that's the way that Maven is. So I'm downloading everything because I defined a dependency here. So compile, this kind of thing is gonna download. So if I decide to use a Spring, so you can define the Spring on the .xml and just move on. It's download everything here. And my house. As you can see here, I have my app here. So upstream app, white app here. Basically, that's the name of my application. So I'm linking this application container with my house. So my default URL is my unique application. For sure, if I want to, I can put more and more application that if you wish, you can have several applications there. Let's see, that I mentioned, the service that I mentioned before. Application is downloading the whole thing right now. I'm overwriting a part, as you can see. So basically, locally, I'm using the default part, but in the platform.sh, it's going to override to use the platform.sh part. And that for sure is one good practice of the 12 factor, right? The part binding. So basically, I split my code from my configuration. That's the third term of the 12 factor and define the part. So I'm going to use the whole concept of the 12 factor integrated with the good patches of application. I split my application layers, so I have my entity, I have my controller, and two using VC, right? So it's you buy it, it's you download the whole internet. Okay. Right now, as soon I push my branch, it's gonna appear here, this guy here. And as you can see here, let's increase the font here. It has 3 containers, and Platform.sh is gonna orchestrate that automatically to me. So I have my host, that is one container. I have my application, that is a container itself. And also I have my MongoDB as a container. Okay, I guess that's take too much right now. So guys, is there any more question? Why all the Mavens happen? So if you have any question, please tell me. Uh, while they still download the whole internet. So for sure, one positive here is you can do more methods. Like if I wish to, you know, have something like I'd like to find the younger heroes. So I can do something like list of hero find by age greater than enter age. I can do the same thing to seniors and youngers. So greater, less than. And for sure, if I wish, I can look for the power itself. So I'd like to, I don't know, find by the power. So link hero find by powers in power. So right now, basically what I have a lot of implementation if without care about the implementation itself. Right? So let's see what's happened. Here. And remember, if you have independence in sonotype, and if sonotype is not working, you're gonna suffer with that. So something happened to sonotype. Let's check what's going on here. And yes, that's the biggest issue with the internet and with the cloud. So you need the internet the whole time. So basically, um, the startup time is down. For some reason, it's so slow, so deep slow. But basically, the whole idea here is to, okay, I'm gonna move on and then return when it's done. So have my configuration. I have my whole orchestration here. So I have my container host, container application, container MongoDB. I can define backup if I wish to. I have settings. And again, everything that I did, I just need to go into three files. One to define the application, another one to define my host, another one to define my service. Okay, let's move on, and hopefully at the end, it's gonna download the whole internet. Unfortunately, the server type is down right now, so it's not enabled to download the dependency in the Maven. So the whole idea is to talk about cloud native that I mentioned, the whole idea, and for sure about one way to make easier to you connect and to you make your application and move your application easily to cloud. Use the good patches such as container, orchestration, and everything around the cloud native concept. So that us, as I mentioned, we have several services. We have MySQL, Postgres, Kafka, Redis, Solar, Elasticsearch, MongoDB, Memcache. Um, Platform service is a platform service for sure. The whole idea is you can push your code, it can run the whole test that I wish to. So you can find, if you are using Maven, you can put a MVN clean install or MVN clean verify, clean package, whatever you want. So it's gonna create, and if you wish, you can run the whole test to make the continuous deployment and continuous integration possible. And based again on that file, it's possible to have the orchestration of your container. And we are on the top of some infrastructure like Amazon and Google and Azure that I don't need to handle for. The whole idea is okay, you can make easier your application with integration with Git, any kind of Git. If you don't get, if you don't have any Git, it's gonna handle to you. By default, Platform.sh, when you decide to create a product, it has a Git repository. You can integrate with Jenkins, whatever you want. It's gonna create the container and the orchestration for you, so you don't need to handle too much about, Docker, Kubernetes. That's gonna happen automatically. We have several clients, so we have over 1,000 e-commerce. And if you are a Java developer, we have support to a lot of stuff. So Eclipse MicroProfile, Jakarta EE, Turntail, Spring. We have support to several build tools such as Maven, Gradle, Payara. That's, by the way, I'm gonna have a webinar soon, I guess next month. Tomcat, Tommy, Waterfly, Gradle, whatever you want. You have con connection easily to Hibernate, let's see, Spring, whatever you want. The whole point here is we have that easy integration to move your application to cloud with the whole good patches. Just to be aware on the time to stay at home, remember that if you go to Platform.sh webinar, we have several webinars. So go to Platform.sh/webinar. You can see the current one and also the URL to the next one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kate. And guess that is it. So let's check what's happening right now. Yeah, guys, sorry. the sometimes you download. That's a bad luck, right? So when you decide to do a live code and then the whole Maven repository is down, but believe me, it's gonna do the exact same thing that if you decided to do on your home, on uh, in your machine locally, right? So it's gonna download the whole application, and based on that, it's gonna create a container and then orchestrate to you. Yeah, guys, is there any more questions? Okay, I did the demo time, I did that. So if you have any question, that's the time. If you don't have any question, thanks so much. Hope that you enjoy. Sorry for the whole Maven systems is down right now. I get some links. So if you have the whole links here, okay, have some links. So don't worry, we're gonna send that to you too. And for sure, I hope see you soon.